the other alternative I wanted to talk to you about is business cards.
Hmm.
So I've played with business cards before, um, last year, but I was always too shy to actually give them out because I'm scared of people judging me.
Uh-huh.
Uh, but I saw them work for people in really good ways. I think I still want to make business cards just in case, but I will be a little bit less vague about being a whore on them and maybe not put a picture because I had pictures on them before and I think that was too much. Um, so I was thinking about making business cards for a massage.
Hmm.
Because the other day I went out with a friend, just like day drinking for lunch at this really nice bar that's kind of like outdoors. And a bunch of guys were hitting on us and came and bought us champagne or whatever. And, I am a lesbian. I don't have sex with men for fun. So
Mm.
literally, there's no point of talking to a man if it's not going to turn into something money wise for me.
Mm.
And they were these young lawyers, probably in their mid 30s, but they literally just seemed like all of my perfect massage clients, where they were like obviously like kind of trying to cheat a little bit, but they're like, oh, it's not that cheating if it's just this. I don't know. They just seem like massage clients. And in that moment, I wish I had massage cards to give them because I 100% think they both would have came. Maybe they wouldn't have told each other, but do you think that could be a good thing to do to have business cards for massage?
You know what? I'm going to be really honest. I've never done that. I've never
Hmm.
actually worked with somebody who's done it for like
Hmm.
probably really the exact reason that you've just said, like kind of the
Yeah.
fear of doing it. I had a boyfriend once who recommended that I do it. He said you should just have cards on hand so that if you get hit on, you just hand them the card. And for me, I
Yeah.
just totally didn't feel comfortable doing that. So to be honest, I have pretty uneducated feedback. I
Hmm.
think that, yeah, if you're going to do it, keeping it a bit more discreet is smart. And you're
Yeah.
really not going to go and know unless you test it. I mean, you might find, like, I'm just
Hmm.
thinking through if it happened. If someone's
Hmm.
hitting on you and then you say, like, you probably have to have a bit of a, not a pitch, but the wording kind of ready. Because if you hand them a card that's a bit nondescript, you might find that people don't understand what's happening and try and ask you. And then if you're not prepared for that, like I'm thinking about if I was going to do it, right? If some guy's
Yeah.
hitting on me and then I
Yeah.
basically say, like, hey, darling, here's my card. I think there's a lot of men who wouldn't understand, especially if it wasn't obvious. And I think it's good to not be too obvious. But then you might be like, oh, what do you mean? And then how am I going to respond? So, like, do you know what I mean? I think you probably need to think it through a little bit, and then it's
Yeah.
going to be a matter of trial and error. And how
Um,
much of a hit rate does that have? Honestly, I think that's really difficult to know unless you give it a go.
yeah. What I did on my last set of cards that I made was I put a QR code, and the QR code turned into a WhatsApp text, but the WhatsApp text had a pre-filled text that was different than the pre-filled text that would come from other WhatsApp links I had on the internet. So I would know if they came from a card or not. Um,
I was literally going to suggest that, by the way. You beat me to it. But yeah, what happened? Were there much results?
so I think I got two texts from cards before, and it was when I was working in the strip club. We were not allowed to go home with guys, but obviously I would give them my card if they were interested elsewhere.
That's smart.
Um, and both set up dates with me,
Mm.
so that did work. Um, the thing when I was having these cards for escorting, I was scared to give them out. One, because I mean, I had a photo of me. I was fully clothed in the photo. I had on a long dress. It's like a photo of me on the beach.
Mm.
Um, but I think the photo on it on the backside made me more nervous to give it out
Mm.
for sure. And yeah, I think I had an like luxury companion or something like this on in text, really small. I think that also made me too nervous to give it out. I think if I made something more vague, just text, and only give it out when there was a vibe that the person wanted to communicate with me already. Another thing that sparked this is when I met these guys the other day at the bar, these lawyer guys. Um, the reason they started talking to us, me and my friend, is I think they were curious of what we did because we looked very flashy that day with our little designer bags, whatever, and
Mm.
just cute. And they kept asking us, "What do y'all do?" And and we had to hurry up and make some shit up, because I'm never prepared for that. Um, but I think I would feel more comfortable telling somebody I'm a masseuse, and then you know that they're interested, and then giving them card. Then I don't know. I'm gonna test it out and keep you updated. I think it could be good.
Yeah, please do. You'd probably certainly feel more comfortable saying I'm a masseuse. If you're ever
Yeah,
interested, here's my website, and then they'll get there and they'll obviously find the nature of the massage. Again,
exactly.
be prepared. Like maybe you want to think about how you time handing it over, because if you hand it over and you're like all still in the bar and then they click on the link, them and all their friends standing together,
Yeah,
do you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like again, I'd hate
yeah,
to find you in an uncomfortable, I mean, you can just leave, but so I
yeah,
definitely think it's just a trial and error. And because you've done it before, you kind of know some of
yeah, for sure. I
the
guess it's
bumps in
just
the
like
road.
in the strip club, it was a controlled area where you already kind of know, but out in the wild, it's like, oh, anybody, anything could happen. Also, last
Yeah.
night, I went out for a drink and some businessman hit on me when I walked by. He was like, "Wow!" And then my friend was like, my friend was like, "Go up to him and give him your number." And I was like, "No, that's so embarrassing. I'm shy." I was like, "Oh, even though I fuck for a living, I'm very shy."
Totally, totally.
um, but in that moment, I also wished I had a business card to give him because he showed such interest in me already.
Mm.
Uh, instead of just, I don't know. I'm gonna try it out.
If you want to learn more escorting tips, just click the link below this video.